If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. So I made a video the other day where I talked about electric and our electric system and how it operates. And I tell you, I get a lot of questions about it. And I know I'm not describing it well enough for everybody to understand. It is a very simplistic system that I built with components that you can buy, all the components you can buy at Walmart. It's that simple. My system cost $700. Now, if you get a cheaper generator, which is the bulk of the cost, my generator was $500. But if you can get a cheaper generator that will power the battery charger, $200 generator, it's more noisy, but that reduces your cost down to $400. For those of you that understand, I hope you'll bear with me, because there are a lot of folks that don't understand it and are looking for a cheap, simple solution. I've used this system 3 times now in my life, but I could run my refrigerator on power outages with this system. Okay, so let's get started. The centerpiece of my system, the most important component to my system, is the battery. Now, I am borrowing a car battery. What I actually have is a marine RV battery with 122 amp hours. I'm borrowing this battery because I didn't want to take that battery out of my house. So the battery is the centerpiece. It does all the work. Now, of course, you got to charge the battery, but as long as you remember that a battery is just like a battery in your flashlight or your phone, maybe a better suggestion. Your phone has a battery in it. And just like your battery on your phone, that it needs charged. And so while you're not charging, your phone runs off the battery. When you are charging, the phone runs off the wall. Same concept. So I'm running a refrigerator essentially off a battery, just like you run your phone off a battery. Okay, so let's get started into how this works. 6 hours a day, I have to run the generator to charge the battery. Now, what is a generator? A generator is a system that produces AC electric. For those of you that don't know what AC electric is the same electric that you use in your house. The generator has a plug-in, just like your house, for standard plugs. So now, a battery charger for 6 hours a day charges the battery. Now, this is a standard battery charger that you buy at Walmart. It costs about $40. That charges car batteries. It's the same thing. And it's got different selections. You've got 25 amps, 10 amps, and 2 amps. I never use the 25 amp. I always run it on 10 amps. And then once a week, I do a trickle charge on 2 amps. Now, it has an automatic setting. So actually, what I'm doing is the automatic setting. But it's a trickle charge is what it is. And it can handle different battery types. For 6 hours a day, 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening, I start the generator. I plug the battery charger into the generator, which powers this up, turns it on, and then I take the clamps, put red on positive, black on negative, just like that. Now, not to overcomplicate things, while I got the generator running, I go ahead and take my refrigerator and plug it into the other outlet here. Okay, so that way I can just get a good sound charge. Okay, now the battery, when it's charged, the battery charger shuts off, so I go out and I shut off the generator. Now, I have my system set up so I never have to take the clamps off, but for this demonstration purpose, I'm going to take the clamps off the battery. And then I'm going to put what is called an inverter on the battery. Now, the inverter is this inverter you can buy at Walmart, again, for $40. It's 750 watts. It's what is called as modified sine wave. Now, not to overcomplicate this too much, modified sine wave means it doesn't have true 60 hertz. It's really sporadic. 60 hertz, it cycles very evenly at 60 hertz. So the problem with buying a modified sine wave sometimes it doesn't run your electronic devices. But it certainly will run your refrigerator, my laptop, different things. Electronic devices, especially in the 10, 15 years ago, needed that 60 hertz. A lot of newer ones don't. But if you wanted to buy a true sine wave, you can buy those on Amazon for $100. They're not that expensive. For 18 hours a day, I hook this inverter to the battery. So for 18 hours a day, my entire house is now running off a battery from the inverter. The inverter, what it does is it converts, or inverts actually, it inverts DC electric from your battery, this is called DC, direct current, into AC electric. See, with the standard plugs, don't know if you can see that, but it's got a household plug in it. And so it inverts that electric from DC to AC and gives you power that you can power your house refrigerator on. Now the nice thing about this inverter is it has a display, an LED display on it that tells you the volts of the battery. This is important because when you get down to 12.3 volts, you need to charge your battery back. Now to demonstrate how good this system works, remember, as an overview, this is all I got. Battery hooked up to this inverter. So I have a saw here. It's a little jigsaw, and I can run the saw off the inverter. See, it's all plugged in into the inverter. So really what I just did there was I ran this saw off the battery via the inverter, and it's just that simple. And I've recommended this before, that you can use this in your house, for emergency situations. If you want to run your fridge, of course, like I said, you're going to need a bigger inverter, probably for your full-size fridge. They sell 1,000-watt inverters at Walmart now, and that way you don't have to run your generator 24/7 bothering the neighbors. You can run the generator in the morning like I do, charge up the battery, and then again in the afternoon. And remember, this is important, if you run your refrigerator off the generator, the refrigerator kicks on and off all day. Well, while the refrigerator's off, the generator's still running, so you're wasting all that gas. Whereas if you run it off the battery, you're only using electric that your refrigerator needs. When it kicks on, it just runs off the battery and it shuts off, and then you're not using any more electric. Much more efficient, huge cost savings, and it gets you through power emergencies. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.